there, planner friends, and welcome to a long overdue plan with me. I apologize for that. It's just been busy with school and work and all of that fun stuff. As you can see, I am firmly off my no spend. That doesn't mean I'm not making efforts to kind of return to that place, but I realized that my shopping was very much tied to stress, and I'm working on healthier outlets for that stress. I think this semester I'm taking like graduate level courses, even though I'm still undergrad. I'm not taking any undergrad work. I just had to be there for an extra semester anyways, because I transferred in. And I figured I would spend the other semester of the school year just getting done with other work for my credential program that I'm hopefully entering in the fall. So I've been taking all classes about teaching, and it's been stressful, not because I don't like the work or because I don't like what I'm learning, because this is the first time I think in a while that I felt super passionate about the work that I'm doing, and I think that's the problem. I think I'm typically more of like a underachiever. I mean, you wouldn't tell it by looking at my grades or anything like that, because I tend to get straight A's, but it's like, you just do enough to get by, not necessarily enough to, I don't know, go out of your way to do additional work or go out of your way to research something on your own. That's kind of how I've functioned for many, many years. I'd say I've been trying to change it since I transferred, trying to do things that are more significant, trying to turn assignments into things that I care about and that sort of thing. And I do love school. I love learning. I love reading. I love all of it. But this is definitely the first semester that I've been trying more than I have in the past. And because I haven't really tried before, I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to deal with like putting my all in all the time. So I need some coping mechanisms. The best one that I found that works for me, aside from like talking to my husband or hanging out with him, is journaling. And I kind of fell off that wagon. So I noticed, let's see, this was the last plan with me I think I did. And this was Valentine's Day weekend, or Valentine's week. I think it was right in here that I just stopped journaling. It was like the coursework was picking up. I was starting to do observations. Work was also starting to pick up. And suddenly I went from having just 2 classes to do an observation before class projects, and I just didn't know how to take care of all of that while still being able to journal. So I let that fall by the wayside because it was probably the easiest thing to let go. And I didn't really piece together the effects of doing that until probably around this week. This week, for some reason, I just realized, looking at one of my new jet pens orders, that was probably only $20 of stickers, but still unneeded. I was looking at it, and I was happy with the way that the stickers looked and everything, and I could certainly see a use for them. But I started to realize that I was buying things because I was stressed, and because it was something that I could do very, very quickly, feel better about myself somehow, and then just move on with my day. So usually what I would do is, if I had a break between classes or a break between work and class, because usually I do it back to back, I would take that little bit of time, and instead of trying to breathe or take a walk or just jot down what I was feeling at the time, I would just jump on my phone and put together a cart and just click on it, purchase it. It was like a whole completed action that was completed so simply and so easy to finish that it would function somewhat like a break, if you can follow that line of reasoning. So it's kind of when I was playing with this, I realized that while it was like on my bucket list of pens, I really did want a clicky fountain pen, and the Pilot, this is a capless because I think this was a Japan version, but they're called vanishing points over here. When I realized that I didn't purchase this for its inherent properties, but rather because it signified something greater to me, something that wasn't inherent of the pen at all. Like, I was projecting stuff onto this pen like, you deserve it, you're about to graduate, you're about to become more professional, this is what this pen signifies. When I realized that's what I was lobbing onto it, it kind of woke me up. I mean, this pen is fantastic, but I would like to use it just for fun, not because it is this heavy signifier of something greater. It's just a pen. They're just things. And I had no one to kind of bounce that off on, except for my journal. So yeah, but this is an awesome pen. I don't regret purchasing it. I just maybe regret the reasons why I purchased it. So, since then, I haven't put forward many orders at all. I think the last purchase that I made was a Kaweco Sport. Just this yellow one. And it was only because it looked cute. That was it. This had no higher significance than this is cute. I want it. And to me, that was healthier than just ejected out of my hand. But to me, that was a sign that I was making progress. When things stopped having their heavy connotations and they just started existing for what they are. I think that's better. And this is like 2 weeks ago, so still going okay, reasonably well, I would say. And I'm keeping up with my journal. So this is my journal. I've been keeping it in here this whole time. I don't know if I can really show it off because it is for me, but yeah, I've been journaling. There is a whole swath in like the middle, maybe you can see it from the edge, that is untouched, and basically that's just like mid-February to mid-March. Yeah. The whole time though, I have been planning. So I found that the system I'm currently really enjoying is blocking off my classes and putting the homework not on the days that they're due necessarily, but the day that I envision I'll be able to get it done. I do have reminders for when things are due, but that's different from the little dots I have for when I want to get work done. And it's helped me kind of visualize it too, because if I'm loading too many things on one day, then I know it's never going to get done. Kind of where I was ineffective though throughout my whole planning for the past couple of months has been planning for my credential application, surprisingly. There are many components that went into my application packet, and I had reminders going in, and while I was making strides, it took a lot of reminding myself, like bringing it up over and over. I didn't like that I wasn't able to just like list it down for one day and then accomplish the task. that was really making me angry, actually. So I don't know. I think it goes back to me being somewhat of a slacker. Procrastination is kind of like a self-preservation sort of tactic, because if you feel you put forth your greatest work when you're down on the wire, or when it's down to the wire, it's not that you feel it is your greatest work, it's more that you have no other choice, you have to get it done. So there's always this thought in the back of your mind that, well, imagine what I could accomplish if I didn't procrastinate. So there's always this thought that, I don't know, if I happen to do poorly on this assignment, task, whatever, it's okay. It's not really a sign about who I am or about my intelligence or anything like that. It's more just a reflection of the fact that I didn't spend a lot of time on this. And that's bad. And it creates so many more problems. I get very anxious. And of course I put things off until the last minute, and that's just a combination for more anxiety and more worry, because all I have done is freed up time for me to think about things. That's why journaling's good. It helps me to actually say my insane thoughts out on paper, and then I can just deal with it. But I was falling back on my old sort of procrastination-y patterns when it came to compiling my credential packet application, because there was never any question in my mind that I wouldn't be able to turn it in on time. And I think because of that, I was a little bit cavalier about all the other components that make it up. So I did turn it in. The date was actually moved, and it was on my spring break. Woo! Go spring break. So this is this week. I turned it in on Tuesday. I've been doing a lot of observations this week, just because I have the time and I have a component with all my credential courses where I need to observe other teachers. I guess that's self-explanatory. So today is Thursday, and I just realized I have homework that will be due before the end of the week. It's primarily in one class. I do want to get a jump on other stuff, like I need to create a lesson plan and then present it to a bunch of kids, or to a class here coming up. And we're winding down. I'm in my 10th. Nope. I have like 3 weeks until school ends. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. No, I just have 5 weeks. Okay. Whew, I can come. But I need to step up my game a little bit again. I need to be a little bit more proactive than my slackerish tendencies tend to make me want to. I don't know. I feel so silly doing this because I love to learn and I want to be an educator, and yet I am subject to the same like toxic mindsets and self-defeating behavior that a lot of students get wrapped up in, and they can't pull themselves out, and that's why they think that school or learning or whatever form education takes, why they think it's not for them. So that makes me sad. But anyways, you didn't come here to be sad, you came here to plan. Or at least watch me plan, and I think I'm gonna do it the long way because it's been a while, and maybe you want to know the reasoning behind why I do some stuff. I don't think I'm gonna go super crazy this week. I think I'm gonna keep it a little bit basic, only because it's the first week back, and I basically haven't done any schoolwork since, I don't know, It's been like 2 weeks. No, it's been since last Thursday, I think, is when I did schoolwork last. I mean, I was working on my application and doing observations and making notes and that sort of thing, but it's not the same. I also, if we have time, I want to do something I saw pop up on my Instagram feed. It was Simply Gilded. They put these crimp caps on their, or the woman who runs Simply, maybe it was Annie Plans, I don't recall, but they're in that circle of planner friends. They put some crimp ends, like beading crimp ends, onto the end of their Hobonichi weeks to stop it from fraying, and then they put charms on the end, and I thought that was just too genius, so I wanted to do that myself. So while I was picking up some stickers and supplies for a project at Michael's on Monday, I went ahead and got myself some kind of low profile charms. I think I'll probably use these two, and some crimp caps. And I have my pliers just in case. But yeah, I think we are going to go ahead and plan. But maybe I should show you my new cover. Yes, let's do that first. Okay, so Instagram's kind of also one of the things I do in order to take a slight break is to look at other people's notebooks, because I think it's fascinating and also relaxing. I don't know, it's just the thought of someone being productive in their own space that gives me comfort or something like that. But I do still follow a bunch of shops, including Foxy Fix. And when they said it was like last chance to get the Rowena leather, I kind of jumped on it, because this was my first Foxy Fix, was a Rowena, and it was for my first A6 Hobonichi. And I really liked the leather. I really liked that it could take a beating and still look nice, still look worn in. I'm not a super huge fan of leathers that have like a perfect built-in finish. I like those leathers maybe for purses or wallets or something like that, where I want it to look crisp and clean and stuff. But when it comes to notebooks, I want it to look lived in. And that is what this does. This, I think it came to me like this. This is like pup claws. It's had a few issues. Neck gouge is new. I think this also came like that. At one point, I had packing tape near it, and it stuck. And when I pulled it off, it was maybe only like this big on this side on the back cover, and it pulled away the finish with it. And so all I did was like furiously rub it for a while, and it healed itself. You can't tell where that happened. So it's a really hard-working leather, and I'm very sad that it's no longer a thing, because it is beautiful. I got it with the new moon phase thing because I'm just going to embrace it. I know it's trendy, but I'm going to own that. I haven't really changed up my cover at all. Ooh, another reason why I got this cover. So I was talking about with the other cover, which is kind of a similar leather, the Stella leather, which they also discontinued. I didn't like the fact that it was crisscross pockets, because even though they're so utilitarian and so pretty too, it was just a lot of leather material. So I got the secretarial pocket this time around. It's not double layered except for this little pocket, and it really slimmed out the profile, which is good because I think this thing is chunking up at an exceptional rate. I just noticed that today. I mean, it's not that bad, but I have more than half of the year to go, and it's getting a little chunky there. So I wanted room to grow, and I think this will give me that room. Let's see what else I put in here. This hasn't changed. I still have that hot dog that I got from a Cute Things from Japan order as a freebie. I did buy one of these guys. Someone suggested in a video a while back that to solve the pen problem that I had, to get like a sticker sort of pen holder like one of the Leuchtturm ones. So I decided to try this one out with that $20 Jet Pens order, although I guess it would have been $25 because I would not have paid for shipping. Yeah. So I got one of these in brown, and I got one of these in navy, and it's been working out really nicely. It's pretty strong and sturdy. It's enough to take care of this pen, and this pen is a chunky baby. See, it doesn't interfere at all. It is still restrictive. Like, not all pens will work, including the Quaco Sports. They won't really work. I mean, you can get it in there, but it's not something I'd feel comfortable carrying around. I think it won't necessarily do gel grips either. Let's see, this is a Sarasa Grand. This one it'll do, but it's kind of might have stretched it out because of this pen, because this has been my ride or die pen for a little bit. But this one has a fantastic clip, so it's cool. But it would definitely not hold one of my 5-barrel Jetstreams. But I haven't been actually using that for planning much. I've been using this guy with, it's an extra fine nib, which is so teeny tiny. In fact, if I had it to do all over again, I might pick a fine. And I like really small nibs, but it's still really lovely. And I've just been using the Namiki Pilot standard black cartridges. And in the back, I have my pen board and just a blank notebook in case I need to jot something down or repair a spread. I still haven't really done anything with the month at a glance, or the year at a glance, nor have I done anything with this. And we just went through my monthlies. I do really enjoy this. This was like one of my favorite parts when I was bullet journaling, and I feel like I can still keep it unique, and I can still switch it up from month to month without sacrificing function, which is ideal for me. I put down tabs until May, and then I similarly have my, this is the where the mega comes in. Let's see. Yeah, this is the mega side, and I am up to here, but I still got a lot of ways to go. I still have many pages, so I'm not hurting there. Okay. So that is my new setup. But while I like using this for just writing everything in, when it comes to drawing my spreads, I still like using a fine liner. And I've been trying to use up this Le Pen drawing pen, or technical pen. I bought it at my bookstore, I think last year. I bought this one, like a 0.1 and a 0.001, and I only have 2 still lingering, but I don't feel like I can try something new, like maybe the Le Pit Artist pen, or Artiste pens, which I kind of do want to try out. I feel like I can't use them until they're used, because they work. They just take a little bit extra time to dry. So let's see. I've done this so many times, I already know the spacing. It is 5. realize I am living dangerously, not holding down the pencil board all the way. Then I don't want my hand to get in the way of me laying down the line. There we go. That's what I was worried about. Okay, that's fine. So, with that done, now I can just insert, boop. Because I do like the horizontal aspect of the Hobonichi weeks. So now I think I've trained my eye naturally to read it from left to right. So that's why I like the vertical spread I tried for Valentine's Day. It just didn't work very well. And again, like I said, this has been helpful for me kind of visualizing how much I can realistically accomplish in a day. Because with me, being super try hard, I guess, would be a good term for it, if not a little pejorative. With actually applying myself this go around, it's been very hard for me to be kind of even, I guess, to not try to do more than I'm capable of, to not take on more than I can chew. I just kind of want to say yes to all of it, and that creates issues. So there's that. Got, where'd my mild liners go? Okay. So again, I take these with me every day in my backpack. I have it color-coded for glasses. I do have stickers for them, just to like help bring my attention to it, but I will put those on later. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to put in my schedule, which I do this guy and this one because I have moved my black red zebra Sarasa ink to this pen because it's the Sarasa ink that I use the most. Whoops. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to do observation Monday. I'm not sure for what class, so I'm going to leave it blank for now. I do have work again on Monday because school will be back in session. Whoops. That's how you get smudges. I also know I will do observation on Wednesday. I also have a very important component to that credential application, which is basically the last thing that's kind of in my control, and that is an interview. So I need to mark that down too. And I smudged. That's okay. It's my fault for using a fountain pen. And then I also have work on Saturday. There's varying levels of room kind of left. At the top here, I left room because I'll probably have to drop off my husband at work before I go. Nope, that's 10. It's been a while since I've thought about this. Okay. Since I do have observations that I will have to do, I'm going to go to my trusty sticker pack. And these are where all of my most used stickers go. And I've been using these kind of like Midori racing animals, I think, for my observation. Because I just think it's fitting. I don't know. It seems like I'm very much running around when I have to get all these observations done. And I'll also be doing that on Wednesday. So I'm just going to write observation here, but I'm not going to fill in the time, but I can pretty much guarantee that it'll be like one of the first things I do of the day. And here it is a requirement that it is one of the first things I do in the day, because in the latter half I will have credential, program, interview. So that's what's going on that day. Okay. So far so good. Now it's time to add my classes. Should maybe give it a minute to kind of dry. So Tuesdays are special because I don't get a break essentially from work to class. It's just one right after the other. Both of my classes are essentially one right after the other. And this semester I am using the Zebra Sarasa pens from my color coding system. It's probably at the point now that I don't really need to put these reminders in for myself, but I still like to see my actually, maybe I do need the reminder because I don't know what time class. It's like 2:15, I think. Yeah, I got that wrong. No, that's okay. So I guess I do still need the reminder because it's like one of those, it's just in my working memory right now. One of those things I don't really process because it's not that important. I just show up. Let's see, it's 2:15. Yes, that's acceptable. Then on Thursday I do have a break, so I'm gonna just drop down an extra line here. It's like an hour and a half break, I think. But then no break between classes, which is why they're so close to each other. See, there's method to this madness. This one's from 2:30 to 5:15. And this one is from 5:30 to 8:15. Okay. On those days, on this day especially, I'll probably have to pick up my husband because we are sharing one car. too. The other one should be fine, I think, yeah. So that's kind of it so far. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you kind of know that this is basically as clean and contained as it will look, because of course as the week goes on I continuously add to it with all the new stuff that comes up or any modifications to my schedule, if a class gets canceled or if I have to meet for a group meeting or something like that. The last thing I want to do to this side is just put in assignments that are due. So I'm just going to mark that with highlight. And those are just bigger assignments, not necessarily just like everyday homework. Let's see, so this one is chapter 2B. I had sticky notes and they're kind of bumping. If I could spell. And I have much more homework for these two classes that I'm just not going to list just yet. I'll go ahead and do that while I'm on the computer tomorrow. As far as decoration, because I need something to make it a little bit more enjoyable to be, I pulled some washi from my stash. You know, I like the bows, I just never use them, so I think maybe I should do that now. Which means maybe I should put this as like an anchor, sort of. Works. We got like spring coffee. Oh, actually, I want to use this one because I didn't realize that this like serrated scalloped edge would be awesome for tearing washi. It gives it like that slight ticket edge. It helps with, I don't know, sometimes I don't like the blunt edge of washi because it looks really abrupt, but that's just me. Do you know what? I can probably maybe put some here too, because then I won't have homework, or even if I did have like a long-term project that I needed to work on, I wouldn't be able to on this day because I would be in class focused on, no, I'd be working on homework for the next day. Before I put more down, let's see. I also worry because I don't use it that often that it's going to expire and not be as sticky as it once was. That's not something I'm really concerned about when it comes to other washi, but I am concerned with this washi. Yeah, and same thing. I would be working on homework for the other classes. I wouldn't necessarily be thinking about these classes, so I'm going to put in some more washi over here. I feel like I should use the bigger washi, maybe. But these especially, I don't like the look of the blunt edge because I'm picky and weird. Ooh. Sorry, table. Let's put it over here then. I don't know if you noticed, but I tend to put washi in the same places. And it's because for my type of planning, they kind of block time as well as beautify the area. So when I usually place washi between like Wednesday and Thursday or Tuesday and Wednesday, it's because Wednesdays are usually the day where I don't have much of anything to do. So those are days that I need to take time and hang out with my husband, make sure I'm lavishing attention on my pets and stuff like that too. So those are just reminders. But I feel like it's missing something still. I think the problem is that all this washi is very horizontal. You know what, I'm gonna drop one on Sunday too. Because Sundays are usually days where I just hang out with my husband. Nope, don't like that. So this is kind of what started me on the washi train. It was the Galaxy set from Simply Gilded, but then like these weird artist-inspired washis from MT. And I bought the whole line because it was so weird and unique. If anything, unlike the Simply Gilded washi, I'm just afraid that over time these will get like too sticky. That's not a thing I'm worried about with the Simply Gilded washi. I think over time they will lose their stickiness. And there's a ham there. You know what? I want the full ham. Full ham effect. So we're gonna drop that in. Because why not? I'm gonna offset it just a little bit. Yes. Better. Okay. I'm gonna try and sequester that like suit looking thing because that is one of the tasks I must do for the interview. Still missing something. Let's see. Also, I found these super cute, like, graduation type tiny stickers. I've been obsessed with them. Don't think those will work though. Let's see. Maybe I can stick one of these. Because I am completely narcissistic, we are going to make the hair brunette. I'm also going to try and tone down some of the red, just period, because that is clashing more than it's going. You know, that's fine. I'm fine with this. No. Yeah. Yeah. Put that little bit of highlighter there because I am going to mark what week we're in. Yeah, I'm going to put more highlighter here just to maybe unify it a little bit. Yeah, it's okay. This will certainly work for next week, even though it's not the prettiest. And in fact, it's a little busier than I'm typically used to, but that's cool. Well, I guess nothing can get busier than that, right? Okay. So that is my plan for next week, so much is going to have to happen. That's okay. I complain about it now because I'm getting into that cycle where I'm thinking about it, but then I don't feel like I can act on it until I have a place to plan it out, which is why I had to go ahead and make this, because now I know that I can work on this on Monday, which means I can break up these points earlier in the week. So like now I can focus on that end goal. Yeah, I also need to come up with a lesson plan before this observation, ideally, so that I can have the teacher that I'm working with kind of look over it and hopefully give me some constructive criticism on how to make it more effective and more engaging. So yeah, that is my plan with me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope I can get a new video out again soon. I am sitting on an edited video of my Valentine's Day planned with me, so maybe I'll put that out soon. But thanks so much. I really appreciate you sticking with me, even with my intermittent schedule and all of my metacognitive crises that I'm going through right now. But yeah, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, month, semester. You can do it. You are more capable than you know, and learn from my mistakes. So, bye.